Hi y'all, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, hi, I'm Melody, and on this channel I like to discuss fragrances every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if that's something that interests you, please subscribe down below. Today I am sharing my second part of my two-part haul series. I went a little bit crazy this last month on fragrances, and so I have a whole second part of a haul with fragrances from a variety of different places. Some are designer, some niche. So if you're interested, please keep watching. If you've watched any of my previous videos lately, any of my perfume journals or my February tray, you may have seen some of these fragrances already. I've had some of them a little bit longer than others, but this is just an accumulation of about 11 fragrances that I've picked up over the past month or so that I just wanted to share with you. I've worn some of these several times, and then others I haven't really worn much at all, so I'm not really going to go over my opinions or thoughts on those. That I will do in later videos, but for this I just wanted to share with you some new and exciting finds I have. So I will start with the first one that I got. That was the Oscar de la Renta Bella Essence. I don't recall where I got this. I think I found it at like a Ross or something. It's the 1 ounce. I got it for a really good deal. I think it was like $15 or $20, and I thought it was a really good deal. I had smelled this, I think, at a Macy's, and I thought it was a really nice fragrance. It was on my list, but it wasn't like really high on my list. So when I found this for a good price, I decided to snatch it up. I haven't worn it yet. I think this might be up there as one of the fragrances I do want to put on my March tray to give a try, but I just remember enjoying this. Of all of the Bella fragrances, this one was my favorite. If you watched the previous haul video, you know I got the Linterdy line. Well, I purchased the Linterdy Rouge off of Sephora because it's not on any of those like online discount sellers because it's a newer fragrance. And I've worn this a number of times, and I would say this is probably my favorite of the Linterdys. I love the spiciness to this fragrance, and I've been getting quite a bit of use out of it. So I'm really enjoying this one. It's a fragrance I've had my eye on since kind of the beginning of my fragrance journey. Was Burberry Her Intense. I was being a little silly about this fragrance. For whatever reason, I want all of my fragrances that are part of a collection to be the same size. So I was able to find the 1.7 ounce on discounter websites, and I kept holding out waiting to find a 3.4 fluid ounce one to go with my original Burberry Her. I've mentioned so many times that the original Burberry Her is lovely, and I absolutely love that fragrance when I don't get this like really headachy tart note at the top of it. I get that sometimes, and so it's really bothersome, but most of the time I really love it. But I also love this one. To my nose, this comes off kind of like soda, but a little sweeter, like a really syrupy soda. Something like if, you know, a fountain machine is giving you a little bit more syrup. The times that I've worn this, I haven't ever experienced that headache that the original Burberry Her does. So here's hoping that I don't wind up having that same experience, because they have similar notes and they are quite similar, but this one is just a little richer and I would say syrupy or syrupy. I don't know. Anyways, the Burberry Her is very like a powdery soft, sweet, strawberry and mixed fruits. This is a lot thicker and richer and denser. There's still that airy quality that both of them share, but this is definitely the intense version. So anyhow, it doesn't have that. I think the tartness comes from the strawberry, and that's what bothers me with Burberry Her, and I think this is just berries. I don't know that it has any strawberry in it, so I think that's why this one doesn't bother my nose as much. I had been looking for some summer fragrances and stuff, and I was on Sephora looking for something else, and I happened to get a good deal for this little Tom Ford Soleil Blanc shimmering body oil. So I know it's not really a perfume per se, but I know it smells like Soleil Blanc. It's definitely a body scent, and I've never really had a body oil, like a shimmering body oil, so I was excited to give this a try, and I really haven't tried it out too much because it's not summertime, but I am really wanting summer to come as soon as possible. I ranted about that a little bit in the previous video. So anyhow, I snagged this up while I was shopping on Sephora. My husband purchased REM for me for an early Valentine's fragrance, and I really love it. I've gotten a little dent in it already from just wearing it to bed or just in the evenings just to kind of relax. I absolutely love this fragrance, and I've talked about it a few times now already. It reminds me of my grandmother's oatmeal cookies, and I could not tell you why, but that's what I get from this fragrance. So I've talked about it a number of times. I definitely think this is a beautiful fragrance, and I even really love this. A lot of the Ariana Grande's packaging is a little questionable, but I think this one is actually really pretty, so I've kept it on. I picked up La Belle Le Parfum from Rebecca Colazzo here on YouTube. She was doing a declutter, and she mentioned she was on the fence about keeping this one, so I messaged her on Instagram and told her I would be interested, and so I purchased it from her. I think she is so awesome. I love her channel. I don't think we have similar scent profiles, and that's why I really like watching her. I think she's into a lot more of the freshies and stuff, but I find her videos really entertaining to watch. I just really enjoy how she describes fragrances. And she also does a lot of really cool makeup looks, and I really enjoy watching those because I'm awful at makeup and I don't really care for makeup very much. So anyhow, I just love her channel, and if you haven't seen it, I will link it down below, and I recommend you going over to her channel. I think she's just such a lovely lady. I recently did a video on the Sephora Best Vanillas Discovery set. It comes with a voucher for free fragrance, and I picked the Juliet Has a Gun. So I already have a video on that. I'll link it up above, but I picked this one because I'm really craving summer scents, and I think this one is definitely the best deal. So anyways, I haven't given this too much of a try just because it's not the time for it, but I am really looking forward to using this fragrance. So the last four I have are niche, I think. One of them is questionable. I think it's would constitute as niche, but I'm not entirely sure. So I picked up Imaginary Authors A Whiff of Waffle Cone. Besides wanting a kind of unique vanilla in my collection, I was kind of just feeling sort of homesick. So Imaginary Authors is from Portland, so that was the main reason I wanted to support them, is they're back in my hometown, and I've been to Salt and Straw I think like one time, so it's not that I'm attached to it, but when I see the bottle I just think of home, and so that's why I wanted to get it. So I honestly blind bought this. It was $65, which I don't think is terrible, especially for a blind buy. It's maybe a little pricey, but I'm not disappointed in my purchase whatsoever. I think this is a really stunning vanilla. It is very unique, but it is certainly the most gourmand vanilla I have in my collection. So I've been wearing this month, and I really love it, but it's not a vanilla you can just toss on at any moment. You really need to be in the mood for something very sweet for this, because it does smell quite a bit like an ice cream shop. It definitely smells mostly like the waffle cone itself, that kind of burnt caramelized sugar smell. So I think this was absolutely a successful purchase. Along the same lines, I had another very successful blind buy, and it's also a very gourmand fragrance, and I'm a little embarrassed to say it that this was a blind buy, but I got the Italica. It's a 30 ml version, so it's not super expensive, but it's definitely a fragrance that I had heard multiple times on YouTube to not blind buy this, that this is not a blind buy worthy fragrance, and I still blind bought it. I think that's kind of silly, but everywhere I looked to find a decant or a sample of it was like $15, and I was like, if I spent $15 on a sample and I hated it, well, there goes $15. But if I loved it, I'd spend $15 and then $100 for the bottle. But if I just spend $100 on the bottle and decide I don't like it, I can probably sell it and get most of my money back. So that's my thought process behind it. It might be silly, but It was definitely a successful blind buy. I wasn't too worried about it because I really love almond fragrances, and this one, oh, it is so beautiful, but it's definitely not something that I'm going to be running out of the house wearing all the time because it is so decadent. It smells just like that filling of like an almond croissant, that like the almond and sugar kind of glazy stuff that they put inside. It smells just like that, and it is so good. I absolutely love it. But you really, really need to have a sweet tooth to wear this. You need to be in that mode. Um, so this is definitely something that I only spray on 1 or 2 sprays. It definitely lasts and it projects really well. But this is definitely more of a at-home scent. It's kind of expensive for that purpose, but you don't really need much of this, nor are you going to be wearing this all the time. So I think a 30 ml bottle is just perfect for me for now, but when I eventually run out, I will probably have to buy the big bottle, the one, you know, with the tassel and stuff. But oh my goodness, this might be my favorite gourmand fragrance ever, but I'm very partial to almond fragrances. So I will echo what everybody else has said about this fragrance. It's not something you should blind buy, but I did it and it was totally fine. So anyhow, this is Italica by Xerjoff. So another quite expensive blind buy, Kayali's Vanilla 28. I did a full unboxing and first impressions video on that, so I'll link it up here. I have yet to wear it since that first impressions, so I will withhold any remarks on this fragrance. I think this is niche though, right? Because Huda Beauty, it's makeup and it's her sister's company, so yeah, it would be niche. Anyways, a lot of people absolutely love this fragrance. I have not worn it on my skin, so my opinion might change, but I would say I was just kind of underwhelmed about this fragrance. I also did get a little 10 ml of Invite Only that I do not have in front of me, but I really love that fragrance and I have tried it a few times, and I definitely would recommend that fragrance as well. I really love the deep, rich cherry in that one. Speaking of cherry fragrances, and this is the last of my haul, I got BDK's Rouge Smoking. I had tried a dupe version, like a perfume oil of this fragrance, and I thought if that oil is anything like the perfume itself, I will absolutely love it. And I will say that that dupe was spot on. It smells exactly like this. So this is kind of not really a blind buy. I was familiar with the scent profile, and oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. It is stunning to me. I love it. It's kind of that cherry cola vibe to it, and I just think it is beautiful. It is definitely like a closer skin scent. It does not project very far, and it's definitely not a beast of a fragrance. I got like 6 hours out of it, but I absolutely recommend this fragrance, and I also really recommend fragrance body oils, where I got a little roller ball of this fragrance as well. So I will link that down below if you're interested in this scent profile, but you're not looking to spend what I spent on it. I did get it for a really good deal. I found a really good discount code for, I think it was Crystal Fragrances. I'll link that down below as well, but I got a really good discount on this fragrance, so I don't consider it a blind buy because I had already smelled something similar. However, I don't know, maybe some other people would consider this a blind buy. This is the last of my haul. It's a whole lot of fragrances, and I've had more come, but I'm going to wait and haul those a little bit later and get through these fragrances and get to know them better before I start unpacking a whole bunch of other fragrances and sharing them with you. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I would love it if you'd give it a like, and I would love it if you would subscribe for more of my videos. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.